So Jason, is it really all about size?
What are we talking about here?
TVs, of course.
Oh.
Welcome to Talk Nerdy to Me. Today we are talking about home theater, specifically what's newer in TVs. And today that's really about RGB. And the person here that's going to be speaking to all of that is our very own Best Buy famous Jason Lee. Come on in, Jason. Talk nerdy to me.
Talk nerdy to me.
Welcome to Talk Nerdy to Me.
Thank you. What's today's topic?
RGB, baby.
Baby? Baby?
It sounds a bit like an announcement.
Yeah, I guess so.
RGB! You know, it's like a radio host or something like that.
Or like a WWE wrestler, you know.
Yes.
And then it's time for RGB.
That actually was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, before we get into RGB, tell us a bit about yourself.
So my name is Jason, and I've been in the consumer electronics space for about just over 10 years now. Whether that's from in-store sales, field marketing, experiential marketing, and now I've been on the partner marketing team here at Best Buy Ads for the home theater category.
Hey, wow. Mm-hmm. So what were people asking for the most when they walked in? Was it 4K specifically, or what were they asking around what they should be getting? Was it all about, I want the biggest TV possible? Was it all about the size? Was it about the technology of the TV? What was really driving home there for customers?
Yeah, I think definitely in the TVs, the TV department has obviously changed a lot over the last 10 to 13 years. When I was in field during that time, 4K was new. That was the new thing. And smart TVs. It was like 4K TV, smart TV, and maybe big screen TV. Those are kind of like the three sort of pillars that customers were mainly looking for when they were coming to market. But now, if you go in stores, TVs have evolved so much and TVs have the capability to do so much now that it's gone beyond that in terms of what customers are looking for these days. Yeah.
So when you say smart TV 13 years ago, what did smart TV look like then versus now? So for example, I was at the Consumer Electronics Show back in January in Vegas, and smart TV really meant AI built in. So if you were looking at it and say you were a big sports fan, you could, tell your remote that to mute out the crowd cheering noises or the commentator, and it could selectively do that. And there was something that was really the biggest topic was AI embedded into your smart TV. So smart TV is now the norm. What was that 13 years ago? Was that not the norm?
That was definitely not the norm. For smart TVs back in the day, even 10, 13 years ago, it was just about, can it connect to my Wi-Fi? And that was defined as it. And maybe download some top 5 apps. And that was it. That was what you would define as a smart TV. Back then, the operating systems weren't as optimized as they are today. And now, as you had mentioned, now there's AI integrated within it. So it's kind of a combination of your TV is no longer just a display to watch content. It's also sort of a hub of a lot of your smart home products at home, being able to connect to, let's say, your smart appliances, your smart doorbells. And in addition to that, AI built into the processing unit on the television to do things like reduce crowd noise during certain scenes, amplifies the actor that speaks during a movie. So there's a lot of those AI optimizations, and there's upscaling. So you're upscaling content right now that's in market to look at the absolute best on the actual display. So it's a lot of big evolutions. It's also a gaming hub too. A lot of people use it as their gaming console hubs.
Obviously, things in the home theater space have changed a lot in technology. So I'd love to do a little segment here on why did we break up? So I'm going to give you a TV technology.
Is this HR friendly?
This is HR friendly.
Okay, let's just double check, make sure. Okay.
And you are going to explain in 5 words or less why we broke up with that technology.
I got you, fam.
Okay, number 1, plasma TVs.
Plasma TVs. We were hot, we were heavy, and we were expensive.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay, so plasma no longer a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, 3D TVs.
3D. It's not you, it's the glasses.
That's also fair. That's also fair.
Yeah. If you know, you know. Think about it. Yeah?
Okay. Yeah. Last one. Curved TVs.
I believe the sentiment was that we prefer curves in other things in our life. Like monitors. Like monitors. Right?
I do like my curved monitor.
There you go. There
I
you
love
go.
my curved monitor.
Do you use one for work? Or?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
So on top of that, I own a curved TV, and people like them. Yeah, people like them a lot.
How old is your curved TV, Jason?
We don't need to comment on age here, right? You know, it's all about appreciating each other's features within the television.
So you were probably buying a curved TV. I probably was graduating high school.
We don't need to make assumptions like that on that end.
And Jason, in all of your times in stores, what was your most entertaining customer question? Or what's an experience that you remember?
Most entertaining customer I've had?
Or like weirdest? What was the weirdest question you've been asked? Was it about curved TVs?
I mean, that would have been a fun experience to talk about on curved TV.
You could have talked about the one you own.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. What was one of the weirdest ones? And it's a store that I was in as a rep. It was Best Buy Abbotsford. Okay. We were closing. Someone had bought a 65 or 75-inch television, but they didn't have a car. So there was no way to deliver. Now, we offer free delivery and haul-away services, but they needed it to take it home that night. But they didn't have a car. So we suggested maybe get a rental, get a friend, a van, something to be able to put in. So the customer was like, okay, great. We'll come back when the store closed. When the store closed, out at front was one of those huge, like, almost like, not a moving van, like a truck. It's one of those pallet trucks that has that you can put pallets of things on. He had rented that, brought in, and we had one 65 or 75-inch TV, and he had put that on the back of the ramp where you're normally supposed to put these pallets of product on. Just one TV strapped down, and he drove away. And we were telling the customer, we didn't mean like you're gonna buy 50 pallets of TVs. You're buying one TV. So then I thought there was a photo I had, and I had to go find it, but I thought that was the most interesting experience. I was like,
was it the only thing available that they could rent at the time? Was that, how did they
I don't know what they
it?
did. They just came in at the end of the day and said like, okay, the car's up front, show up.
Not a car.
No.
Not a car.
No. It looked like they're buying 50 TVs. That's what it looked like.
You know what? Maybe there was a game going on the next morning and they just like needed it that evening. Anyways.
So they rented that type of truck. Anyways, I still remember it going like, this is awkward. On that.
That's really funny.
Yes.
That's a really good one. All right, switching gears a little bit.
Okay.
Let's get into TVs of today.
TVs of today.
So what is this newer technology that everyone's talking about in the TV landscape, RGB? How would you explain that to, say you're working in stores today and a customer came in asking about it? How would you explain it? Obviously, there's a lot of different TV technologies. There's OLED, 4K, was something people were asking about a really long time ago. But someone comes in, they're asking about RGB. What do you say?
Well, I'll turn the question back on you, Jess. If you hear RGB TV and you didn't know much about it, what would you assume the technology to be?
RGB, I know, stands for red, green, blue.
Okay, what does that mean? Logical?
Something to do with colors and screen is what I would probably assume with no other information.
Any different from regular television?
I wouldn't know, to be very honest. I think I would probably be one of those customers walking in thinking, I just need a 55-inch TV, and I'm not sure which one to get.
Got it.
And I don't know what all these letters mean.
Yes.
So that's probably where I would start. I'd be like, I don't know what.
So the reason why, so that's fair. You're not any different from the regular Jess. So what's...
I'm not special?
No. You're not.
What do you mean?
Should I hold your hand?
You're gonna hold my hand when you tell me this? Okay, so customer walks into the store. They're, I'm the normal customer.
Yes.
I'm not sure what's, what technology is what. So yeah, go ahead.
So what's interesting is that even when I was in field, the feedback that I always got from customers was that when you walk into a Best Buy store now, you get bombarded by so many acronyms within the home theater department. You're gonna see things like 4K, UHD, QLED, SQLED on that end. So you're gonna see a lot of these different types of technologies. And the feedback I got from customers was that it's a little bit, it's difficult to understand. There's a lot there. And one comment that I got was, it's actually harder to buy a TV than it is to buy a car.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I believe where that sentiment is coming from is that you get overwhelmed by choice. There's so many options. Even in the car industry, there's so many options. So it's similar in that sense. So I think that's where our blue shirts in store or if we were reps there would help in terms of guiding the right customer to the right product for their setting. Now, going into RGB. RGB is the most innovative technology advancement within the TV industry in the last 13 years. And that's what makes it really different. So let me take you back on a history lesson on that end. So in the last 13 years, let's just look at the last 13 years. There's been LED televisions, which is like your regular LED televisions, as well as your OLED television, which came out in 2013. So we'll talk about the LED side on that end. LED stands for light emitting diode. Simple terms, it means it's talking about the backlight of a light emitting diode. That's the simple terms. Now, within the last 13 years, the LED segment has improved iteratively throughout the last 13 years. So whether you're getting better processing, whether you're getting better filters, you're adding quantum dots, you're improving within that LED space. But what makes RGB really different is that we are going back to the source of the television of where that LED comes from. So, example, regular LED TVs, you've got a white backlight, multiple backlights, not just one, multiple backlights, and then you add filters or layers in front of the television in order to produce color. That's what the regular televisions do. With RGB, what we're doing is we're going back to the source where we're replacing the original backlight, white backlight, with dedicated red, green, blue. What that will entail is that when you do that, you actually don't need the filters anymore. And you're not only, so you're going from filtering light before to producing color on that end. So I think that's where, when you're producing color at the source, you're getting better contrast, better colors, more richness of colors, and a brighter TV. And that's what makes it really different in the last 13 years, is that we are fundamentally going back to the source of how a TV is lit up to begin with.
Wow, that was a great explanation. So say, let's put this in really, really simple terms. And I think you kind of did that at the end there. But say I'm 10 years old. Mom and dad are bringing home a new TV and it's an RGB TV. And they're saying, hey, we got a new TV. And I'm 10 years old. And I'm saying, why is this TV better than the last TV? What are you telling me?
Color. You're going to get a broader spectrum of color on the RGB televisions. You're going to get more richness of color. You're going to get a brighter television. Right? And you'll have a more longer lasting television as well. So it's really about showing that color and contrast and HDR performance and brightness that will be able to show the content in ways that you haven't seen compared to their previous television.
Gotcha.
On that end.
So what kind of customer would really be into an RGB TV and this fits their viewing needs to a T and they're thinking RGB definitely has to be my next TV. So what kind of viewer would I be in order to say, yes, RGB is my next TV?
What's great about RGB is it's a really, really strong premium all-arounder television where it will perform both in, let's say, brightly lit environments. So whether it's, let's say you live in a condo and you have windows and whatnot, even if it's in a bright room, the television can get as bright as like 4,000 nits. So therefore, you're able to still see the content versus, I'm sure you've been in scenarios where you see a television, it can't get bright enough, so you see a lot of reflections when you're watching on that. So, and it can perform just as great in the dark as well when you're watching, because you want to see that color and the contrast and the brightness. So I would treat it as it's a premium all-arounder. Of course, there's other television technologies that are still in market that does great as well based on the scenarios. But I would treat as RGB as a premium set.
So basically, I'm not having to run around the room like closing all the blinds so that it's not glaring at the TV.
Yeah. What TV do you have? Is it older than my Curve?
No comment.
Is it broken? Is that what it is? Did you break up, Jess?
I broke up with my TV. I'm actually in the new market for a new TV. So maybe I'll be coming to you for some recommendations. Basically, at this point, all I know is I need a 58-inch.
Why 58?
I think a 55 is like a tad too small for what I want it for, but 65 feels a little bit too big for the space. So I'm going for, I went with a 58.
TVs have evolutionized so much that bezels and design have gone a lot thinner, so square area space is a lot smaller. So you can go up to 65.
Oh, I can go to 65. All right.
I would encourage you to go to 75.
Okay, 75. No.
No. Let's see. Sometimes size matters.
When it comes to TVs, yes, it does. And when you're watching the game, yes, it does.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess so. Tell us a little bit about why RGB matters so much for the future. So if you have a crystal ball, you're an astrologist, what's your forecast for RGB in the future? Do you think all of TVs in the future are going to be RGB TVs, or is this one of many technologies? Just in your personal prediction, your personal POV.
Well, it goes back to my earlier point that fundamentally, this is one of the biggest innovative changes within the television market in the last 13 years. So you would hope that as it catches on, that you'll continue to get better and make RGB sort of like that standard in the market. Similar to like 13 years ago, there was still a lot of 1080p, 720p TVs in the stores, and that's what customers had at home. So, and 4K started to become the standard. Now when you go in stores, it's 4K is the standard.
Right?
So
the baseline.
Exactly. Yeah. So I can't predict the future, but I think the fact that RGB is going back to that fundamental of changing the backlight from the beginning of how a television is lit up, I think that's a big change in the market going forward. And we are the national exclusive retailer for all RGB TVs, so go check them out on that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And what does it look like in stores? Just as a little teaser for next time, like where can a customer find an RGB TV right now?
Yeah, of course. So, of course, all of our vendor partners that have RGB in their lineup this year, we will have them in stores on demo. So, please have a look at there. By the time this episode goes live, we have an RGB campaign going live as of today as well. So, I think you're going to see a lot of content, a lot of things like that. So, definitely go to the stores.
Call to action. Go to the stores.
Exactly.
Get in store right now.
Will you be there, Jess?
I'm always at the store.
You're always at the store?
I'm always at the stores.
There
we go.
On that.
All right, final question for you, Jason, at Talk Nerdy to Me. What is the most recent piece of technology you've bought?
I wish I could say it's in the television department, but I feel like we're both wearing something that just came to market, and I don't know if I like that or don't like it.
Oh, that we're matching?
Yeah.
All right,
I kind of like being different, but I am wearing a Fitbit Air, which just came out.
I'm also wearing a Fitbit Air.
I just want to be clear, this is not sponsored by Fitbit. So that's not, But yes, I'm also big on wearable tech. So if you have a segment around wearable tech.
We'll get you on it. I'm also wearing my Fitbit Air. This is also the last thing.
Yeah, exactly. So I do like it. But yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for your time, Jason. And we'll see you next time on Talk Nerdy to Me.
Thanks, Jess.
Why are you being weird? And we're talking nerdy and talking nerdy. All right, that was good, guys. I'm done. I want to go home now.